Of the knife fighting and the self-defense techniques is the stick fighting art of the Philippines, sometimes called arnis, kali of eskrima. In fact, the stick fighting art of the Philippines came from the use of the blade. They started using sticks to make it safer while they train. The good thing about stick fighting is that the techniques that you are going to learn are interchangeable with the knife techniques and self-defense techniques. If you are confronted by a knife, there are 3 rules you have to keep in mind. The first rule is you run away. When somebody's holding a knife, you don't know how good they are, how experienced they are in using that knife. They could be very experienced or they could be a beginner, but it's very hard to tell. So it's always best to run away and come back to fight another day. The second rule is, if confronted by a knife and you have no choice but to fight, look around you and pick up whatever you can. There may be another knife lying around. There could be a stick. There could be a wrench or spanner. There could be a skateboard, table, chairs, computer, or even a piece of stick or timber lying around somewhere that you can use to defend against a knife attack. The third rule is, if you have to fight, then fight. We will show you some self-defense techniques that will help you defend against a knife attack. For the knife self-defense techniques that we are going to show you to be effective, it is important that you already have some basic empty hand fighting skills. You should know already about the basic punching, using the palm, open fingers, elbows, headbutts, knees, kicking to the legs, stomping. These are important in combination with the defense that we show you. These are as critical in being able to defend against a knife, empty hands. Now, our fighting stance is the stick is at the front and the checking hand is behind the stick. Here. It could be here, it could be down here, here, or in front of you. Now, the reason for this is, if your arm is sticking out and you're fighting like this is the first one that's going to get smashed if the other person has a stick. If he has a knife, this is the first thing that they will cut. So, it's important that you protect that inside you. Your elbows are in, it's behind you. This is your checking hand and you're ready. That fighting stance is the same with a knife. The checking hand is behind you and the knife is in front. So it's here, cut, here, okay? There, there, there. It's there to check. Okay? It works the same way. It's also in front of you, ready in this position. The other thing you have to remember when confronted with a knife, or it could be a stick, is the use of your footwork. Here, we use the triangles. On the mat, I've laid down some sticks to help you to guide where you should go with your footwork. 45 degrees that way, this way, it could be 45 degrees going back, and and back this way, or you could be retreating straight back, or going straight forward. If the force is coming at you at 100%, it is important that you come out so that you can absorb that force. You should never take a hit, which is 100%. Coming this way, you can come out this way. You can move back, move across, or move straight back to let it pass you. Now, we're just going to ask Rob here to give us a hand. With stick fighting, right, there are three distances that we work on. Just move back. Three distances that we work on. The first one is the long range, where my stick can hit his hand. And then we have the medium range, where the end of my stick can hit his head. And then we have the close range, where the butt of my stick can hit his head. Okay. With a knife, in this case, we work on the long range, where my knife can actually cut his hand, and then we collapse the medium and the close range, so that my knife can cut his body or his neck. We don't work with the medium when there's a knife, because we're just going to get cut. So we're either in or out. Now, a very important principle in stick fighting and knife fighting is that we don't have defense per se. Okay, our defense is our offense. So what this means is that when I'm getting attacked by a knife, or it could be a stick or a knife, I don't actually block the stick. My defense is, I hit the hand. So it's an offense. In the same way that if we have a knife, it works exactly the same way. My defense is an offense where I cut him with a knife, whichever hand is holding that knife. The knife hand is you cut, and then you check. So it's an offense. That's our defense. Okay, this is a very, very important principle when we do stick fighting and when we do knife fighting. The last fundamental that we are going to cover is the use of your checking hand. This checking hand is the one here behind the knife. So after I defend, after I cut, right, and get this hand with my knife, I pull out and check it. Okay, this is important. Right, so it could be here, I still check it just in case it's still there. And the same on this side, just in case it's still there and it comes back at me.